Sure can. We'll go ahead and, well, we'll call us to order. But
I'm ready.
David, please continue. I think Mayor's gonna give us an update
Oh, okay.
from, the Shoals and PO meeting first.
Okay, first thing, we'll be announcing soon that we were awarded the TAP grant that we filed with UNA for it. We'll get $762,000. And there's a meeting scheduled for the 30th, and I think Mark called that a kickoff meeting. So that's really good, but we'll have that announcement soon. Second thing, at the MPO, the Rickwood Road project, hopefully will be lit in November.
Oh,
The last little thing, there's still communication with the railroad.
what's now?
Evidently, they just hadn't got the signature on the line. We've sent them everything, we're still good. And also the Mitchell Boulevard project that will be lit in November too. All the utilities have been relocated. Were y'all involved with that?
Very little. Very little. Just more when there was issues with the road when they were relocating the utilities.
And the big blooming issues are trying to deal with the billboard down there. So that's been a lot.
Are they gonna go just two lanes across? Shut down one of the sides?
Well, they're trying to work on that. It's gonna be a real mess.
I see them going in front of Longshore and shut down the other side first.
And then go up behind, up front of the police department.
Police department.
The
So
second
it's
time.
probably gonna be trucks, having to do a UE.
It's gonna be a no.
You know, there is another bridge.
There's several other bridges.
So it'll be interesting to see how that works.
I'm sure we'll be getting the color. That's gonna be the hard part. That's gonna be that's a fully state project, but
So
we will be getting the calls.
Well,
and
that's what I
it's-
was about to ask, Todd. Are we involved in any way okay, so we don't know the timeline or any of that?
We're not in, yes, that's completely on the state there.
Okay.
Citizens thought 72 was a pain. Wait till they start knocking that one down.
Cause I don't know what the traffic count going across O'Neill is. It's a lot.
Yeah.
Do you have any idea if it's gonna be lit in November, when that might start? Just on,
They didn't say about the start date.
And that's the thing with the November letting. I mean, it may be spring. I mean, it's gonna be one of those weather dependent. They may go ahead and let it. Go ahead and start in winter. But I wonder if they will. If they will push for a early spring.
Just letting is a.
That's
it's a big deal.
yes.
And they're about finished with the tap in front of the Y. They're still waiting on the heads for those, what do they call them, heads?
The pedestrian signals.
And it'll be, there'll be striping across the street. Unfortunate thing, they're getting ready to pave, so they'll pave it and have to stripe again. But I don't think that part of it's till next year.
Right.
They're working on Cox Creek right now.
Yes, that's
They're
exactly.
gonna work on Helton down to Hermitage, I think.
I sure like driving on that new pavement.
It's very nice. Oh, thank you. David?
Just some updates for you here. As far as the transfer station goes, so we have jumped through the required hoops, which included notifying all the adjacent landowners with a letter. And we had a public information hearing, and then we had a public hearing in the city council auditorium. And we've got no comments from anybody about this proposed permit. And so my next step will then be to get local approval from the city council. So we'll have a resolution on the next one for you to vote that it's okay for us to apply for a health department permit, Department of Public Health permit for a transfer station. I'm assuming that will be approved. And then the next step, the final step, will be to get approval from the circuit court. So they'll have to look at our procedure, make sure we did everything right, make sure we're okay. We should do good there.
How do they know? How does the judge know?
He looks at, copies of the certified letters that went out and records from the hearings, which, we didn't have anybody attend, so, and they've had no comments any other way, so.
And the health department itself doesn't make any comment.
Generally, no. We'll apply to the local health department, which has never done one of these. The guys in office, they did Lauderdale counties, but that was probably 20 years ago. So, we'll apply to them and they'll work through Montgomery and hopefully issue us a permit. So I don't know why they wouldn't. So, any questions about that process?
Are you on track?
Yeah. Yeah, the challenge is gonna be the circuit court approval. So we're probably gonna have the second one of these in the state. The second time the circuit court has had approval. Somebody in South Alabama just did one for a landfill, same process. But, so we'll see how that goes. It's gonna be new to all of us, so. Anything else about that process? All right, the air curtain burner part, so that's an ADM permit. They have come up and inspected our site for an air curtain burner at the Starkey Drive property in the middle of the field out there, and don't have any issues. So we're ready to be. We're paying our fee now, $7,500 permitting fee to ADM, and they will issue a temporary permit until we actually have an air curtain burner and ready to start using it. So we've jumped through all those hoops there with no issues there either. All right, I do have one of the cities to the south of us has one that they've had less than a year that they're going to sell it. So they very well be in line to try to buy that one from them, probably at half the price of what a new one would be. But
Why do they not want theirs anymore?
they're buying a shredder, so they're going to shred all their waste that come into their landfill, and or I guess most of it anyway, and that saves a lot of airspace that way. Shredders are kind of expensive to operate and maintain, so I don't think it really suits us, but I think this thing will save us a lot of money in airspace over time, so I'll be in pretty good shape on that. We have completed at Recycle Center, grant money bought us an eddy current and a new magnet, so we have just got those completed, installed, and are operating. Now, eddy current separates aluminum. It's kind of magic,
I've seen them in action.
Yeah, y'all have to come check this one out. And the new magnet replaced one that was just old and worn out, but it's mostly grant money. The city does match some of that, but that's been installed. We are having an open house on America's Recycle Day, November 13th. ADM will come up and see what their grant money was used for and so forth, so on. So,
You said it was America Recycles?
yeah, something like that. We'll have an official announcement.
So the money you were awarded?
So yeah, we were awarded more money this year, which is going to just at this event last week from ADM on recycle stuff. For the big part of that grant is recycle containers for the new stadium at UNA. So
$100,000,
yeah, so
100% grant.
yeah, no match
No match.
on that part, and I think we'll have something forthcoming on that. I'm sure Rachel's working with you on that to get everybody lined up for a press conference about that.
You've already got
I think October 2nd is the day at 2:30.
Yeah.
Is that what you have?
Yeah, so there'll be more info coming on that.
That's
though.
gonna be at the stadium.
If y'all say so. Yeah, so that's good news.
She'll tell you where to be.
Yeah, that's right. And that's all I have, unless anybody has questions for me. Yes, sir.
Yeah, Bill.
PFAS.
Yes, sir.
This is not exactly in your lane.
Yes, it is.
Okay.
Yeah, we got the same problem at the landfill with PFAS, so we will have. It's everywhere.
When we're online and we're taking PFAS out of the water,
Mhm.
will there be something that needs to be burned at every interval? Will you be able to do that with the new?
No.
Okay.
Yeah,
I was trying to get to that
Right.
last night and I gave up on it.
Yeah, yeah, I thought that, but the only thing that we can put in this air curtain.
You didn't smile at me and I was
Right,
saying,
yeah.
I looked at you
There
and you
are
didn't
ways
respond.
to burn that stuff, usually through dedicated incinerators for that. Huntsville may can in their big incinerator, I don't know, but we won't be able to. In our incinerator, it's gonna
Okay.
be wood waste, brush.
See, I
That
don't
is all.
understand what kind of volume we're talking about. I think what Tad was talking about the other night is these, these tests they're doing.
That's the test,
running.
yes.
Yeah.
That's what I was asking.
Burning it, and then where does it go after it's burned?
Yeah, it destroys the
Throw it in the river.
composition of it. That there'll be a lot of regulations coming forth for that too. It's we the landfill will be affected by it also because there's obviously PFAS in the landfill, and our leachate that comes out will have to be treated before we put it in the sewer system. So that technology is
So
still
all those
developing.
wells you got, how you gonna handle that?
That's groundwater monitoring. So we have actually a line that comes out of the landfill that goes into the sewer system. So we will have to intercept that leachate from the landfill.
From all those wells go into,
No, those wells aren't connected to the sewer system line. So the landfill's like a big bowl. It's got a pipe in the bottom of it that comes out that goes to the sewer system. They treat our leachate.
but
the
why would
wastewater
those
plant.
wells have it in it?
Those wells are groundwater coming into the landfill.
Oh, okay.
All around, they're groundwater all the way around the landfill. Ideally, they don't have anything from the landfill getting in them if everything's working as it should. But there won't be, there probably won't be PFAS in those. There might be in some of them. I mean, I don't know. It's just hard to say. It's kind of like it's everywhere.
This is carbon-based refuse, right? I mean, that's what the challenge is. That's the way Tad has explained it to us, that
Yeah.
it's a carbon, I don't remember the word he used, what type of carbon it is. So this incinerator will then, I don't know, distill it, make it, I don't know what it
Oh,
does. but-
where he's gonna dispose of his stuff?
Mhm.
Yeah, I don't exactly know that either.
Yeah.
How they're gonna handle that part.
They're
of it.
gonna take it away the
Yeah,
first
they'll take
time,
it away.
but then after that, they're not gonna come get it.
Yeah. Well, but it affects all of us one way or another.
Interesting.
Yeah.
That's a good question, Bill. Thank you. All right. Anything else, David?
That's all I got.
Jenny, you good?
Yeah.
Engineering? We shall turn it over to you, capable three.
Todd, I know you and Chase have done a lot, for the bridge. Do you want to?
That's what I was saying. We can start the bridge if that's where you would like to. Obviously, y'all have seen the plans and been part of me discussions on the bridge repair on Pine Street. Just kind of a quick recap. About a year and a half now, we had a project that went out to do some repairs on the bridge. That's when we got the fence. That's when we got it repaved. And you saw some improvements. The south end of the bridge did not get repaired. We were still waiting on AlDOT to give us their recommendations for Garber Engineering, who we had hired to make their recommendations for the repairing the two vents there on the south side. The first two supports that you come to if you're coming from the south. That is currently, we have submitted plans. I think we've had six, good. We've had six contractors pick up a package. So we will see what kind of, basically they have to they will basically jack up the bridge, put in temporary supports, tear out the old supports and pour them back. And
Without people not being able, the bridge will stay open.
there may be a point, and I'm anxious to see, and we'll have everything we've been told, there may be a temporary closure when they're actually jacking the bridge up temporarily to put it on the supports, but once it gets on the supports, we put traffic back on it. So, I mean, it's a very small timeline. We've been talking with the engineer about this for almost a year now, a little bit longer, and they assure us that this is just a normal Tuesday for a lot of these folks, and seems like a pretty big operation when you start talking raising a bridge up and putting temporary supports, and then in the past 6 months we also had our bridge review. Every 3 years we have state come and they have to review our bridge files, so they kind of dive in. And as we're doing that, we were talking with those folks, and they're like, "Oh yeah, this goes on all over the state every day of the week."
When you say a temporary closure, how long do you think that's gonna be?
From what they've told us, like just a few hours.
Really? So not even a full day?
That is what we have been told by multiple folks. So,
And so then reversing that process, when they take out those temporary supports, will that also trigger a small closure to take that out?
and that's what we'll have to really get down to, whichever contractor is awarded it. I don't know. I assume we probably won't. I'm guessing. I don't know if they will build the permanent supports and how that attaches to the bridge. I don't know if it is now at that new because when we're talking moving it up, I mean it is very.
You mentioned it would be like 1 inch to 2 inches.
Yeah, very small. So
Yeah.
I don't know if they'll actually set that back down. My guess is that it will stay at that level, but
Okay.
I'm not 100% sure.
Kind of like replacing disc in your back. Sounds like me.
And
It won't be
I mean,
temporary.
mhm. So, but yeah, so that's kind of.
So that's on the south approach.
Yes, sir. It is the first two bids there on the south approach.
And that would affect, I mean, the paving there is done great, whatever that used to.
It really and that we were when we put that project out for bid, you know, we did not have anybody bid on it, and so we had then to they submitted proposals to us, and one of the folks that got it, they were proposing this, and it saved us, I forget how many hundreds of thousands of dollars to put that. Am I not right? It was.
No, you're right.
It was hundreds of thousands of dollars to put that type of pavement down versus what was spec'd originally. So and it's got a I think around 10-year lifetime. It was enough. The savings, we could repave it 3 or 4 times before it was original cost, even if this.
my
So, but I think it looks really good. We've been really, really impressed with it.
That's good. That's good. Okay. What else about Pine Street Bridge?
That is really, that's kind of where we're at now. We're waiting for bid opening there to see. I'm anxious to see how many of the people that pick up the packet actually bid on it. I think there's more. I think people picked it up, but it is a very specialty.
Do you have any idea of the cost?
So we were told at first $200,000, and we were surprised. I'm like, I don't see how somebody can.
You wouldn't do it for that.
Insurance alone, and the last estimate right before we put out bid was $350. That was the now I don't know where prices will come in, but that was the that was the estimated cost.
So that's in Bill's budget.
Shayna is aware and has been aware.
As we started this meeting, the mayor gave us that great update about the TAP grant and that almost $800,000 amount.
Mhm.
What does that do, and what's the timeline for that overlaid with this bridge work?
Okay, so obviously they are separate projects. There's going to be 2 different projects that are going to be on Pine Street. So the bridges, if you count the bridge, 3 projects. So you have the bridge project that is currently being bid, and then we have applied for a TAB grant for sidewalks improvements from urban to Cypress.
And
Well,
that's-
no, sidewalks won't go to Cypress Mill. It will go to Cumberland.
But it's
There,
part of the
church.
bicycle stuff, right?
Yes, well, it's 2 separate, yes.
Okay.
And so the sidewalks, we're able to apply for the TAP grant to help with funding for it. And
So that's what we just got.
yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
So that is for the
It's not in
sidewalks.
hand yet.
No, but the
Yeah.
letter was received.
Yes, and we're in the approval, and then the other project that is really going to be running at the same time with it is the restriping and then the lighting of the and that does go from urban all the way to Cypress Mill with the striping. The lighting is from urban to Cumberland, the same corridor that the sidewalks are.
Okay, all right.
So,
That was just a lot that I knew was happening all within a very compressed area. And so it sounds like, if I'm understanding, Todd, that bridge will be first,
mhm.
and then,
So the sidewalk, so the TAP grant will be one, and then we'll call it the restriping, just for ease of conversation here, the restriping project, which also includes the lighting. Those will be two separate projects.
okay, that's two, okay.
That's two separate projects. UNA has, also, they have, set aside money too to help with this project.
The lighting part of
Yes, that is the striping portion of it. That contract will have the lighting, and that is what they have helped to. Now, we had to put UNA on the grant for the TAP grant. We applied with them because as you go along the corridor through Pine Street, some of the sidewalk will be in the right of way, some of it will be on UNA's property. But since UNA was a state agency, we could get them to co-sign with us, and we didn't have to acquire that right of way. Otherwise, we wouldn't be able to start the project till we acquired all the right of way that would be the sidewalk would be in. So that is they're on the grant with us, and also it helped too when you have more agencies like that when we're applying for it.
Okay, I was getting confused. There was just a whole lot that was happening all at and I couldn't quite, I'm trying to think in linear terms of like what that looks like and how we'll communicate that to individuals who are using those areas. And I think maybe the bridge work, which we have discussed, will take approximately 6 weeks.
That's, yes, because is it 50
50 days.
50 days on that.
Okay, so that will be an interesting way to sort of figure out next steps and how that will be. Okay.
Yeah, and that project should be out of the way by the time the striping and the sidewalks start.
Thank you. Okay, that's where, yeah, I was like.
Because we're trying to, because the striping, we do not want to start it till, it's one of these chicken and eggs, like, because we can't plan the sidewalk. It's one project, but we need to know where the sidewalk is to be able to put the lighting. And then the electrical engineer needs to know where the sidewalk is, so where he needs to put his conduit. And so it is, these projects have, the sidewalk project and the restriping, they're going to be running simultaneously, but the striping is going to coordinate with the construction of the stadium. We're not going to do it till all the heavy lifting, all the big equipment's out there, because we don't want to restripe Pine Street, and the next thing you know, you've got some big equipment tearing it up. So the goal is hopefully to put this out for bid and start construction early January, to be able to get the sidewalk in, to get the lighting in, to get all that timing down, and then to do striping more in June.
So the deadline would be for August? Is that when football's?
Yes.
Oh,
Yes. The 26th, yeah, August 26th is.
August 26th.
Or September. September 26th is when the stadium is going to.
Do we know when in September?
I forget
Maybe
when
the first weekend of September, but they'll be doing things there probably before that, a week or two before, just to,
Yes, but in talking with the contractor, we've coordinated that with the contractor too, that's doing the stadium project, to make sure by then they will be doing, for lack of better, more of the inside stuff. All the heavy equipment will be gone should be gone by early summer.
Okay, well, that makes sense. I don't know what that.
Now there'll still be other vehicles running in and out, but nothing that is really going to cause damage to the roadway. And that way, and because we were hoping, we were shooting to be done by 1st of August. That way we're not trying to pave last minute. In talking, we actually had probably a little bit longer than that after talking with UNA, that it is going to be, I think, second week, first week. It's September before the first home game.
when does school start?
I'd have to look at the calendar.
August will
It
Usually it's
started
like
this
the
year on the-
second, third week of August when
Started
school
this
starts
year
back.
on the 19th
Mhm.
or 20th of August, so let me just look ahead to what that looks like in August. It would probably be next year, the same time, 20th.
Because, and we want to be through with paving when all that goes in as
Yeah, well,
well.
they got-
We don't want to be paving when.
The move-in weekend.
Move-in
That
is
is
the
correct.
week before.
Yes, no, that is,
And then
we're,
SOAR, you know,
Mhm.
on that.
we're wanting to, you know, have as little as conflict, but also protect our investment as well.
Yeah.
For sure, okay. All right.
Without the restriping, you couldn't add that bike lane, could you?
No, sir. That is that when they restripe that, that's when we will go to the turn lane in the middle, travel lane each direction, and then a bike lane on each.
Will the bike lane be approximately the size of a sidewalk or less?
It's a 4.5 foot, 5 foot
Okay.
bike lane.
On both sides.
Both, yes, sir. Both sides of the road.
So it's wider than what we have on Wood Avenue.
It should be that on the, you know, yes, that would be I think it is 4.5.
Which is what's on
bike.
Helton now.
Is that's okay? I couldn't. I don't
And
remember what's
Rickwood,
on.
that's what we talked about, that would be the width there.
Mhm.
Yeah,
So-
okay. Okay. That's very helpful. I think I was very confused about how all of those projects were gonna work together, because it's a lot happening.
It,
Are there any other questions for Todd and engineering about all of that before we move on?
Compliment.
A compliment?
I love what y'all did at Lakeside Highlands.
okay.
Every day.
Okay.
It is just a lifesaver.
Great.
Nobody's hit the stop sign yet.
No, nobody's touched the stop sign.
No, street guys did they did a really good job out there. And
And
it's
the way you
going-
did that stop sign was different than I've seen at other intersections. And so it just stands out better. Y'all did a great job of that.
Those big arrow signs. Pretty good.
Thank you.
I was going to ask you about where we are on the current paving program. I know we're getting ready to do a general fund budget. Where are we? I guess one of the things I'm asking is going up to St. Joseph's Catholic Church. They have milled that, but now the church is doing some work. I would assume that's not going to be paved until they finish their, they put a sign on that hill, now they've scraped, I don't know exactly what their plan is. I would assume you're gonna let them get that finished. You pave that?
Now there is already they've got binder back down on that.
Oh, I thought it was just milled. Where where it goes up the hill.
Did they just? I was think I saw them put binder down.
They put binder down this week. Yeah, they're not wearing
Because
circles.
they had a track vehicle up there scraped and all that.
Mhm.
Just seems like if there's more of that to do, you wouldn't want to pave over that, so.
And we probably won't put the wearing surface won't be. I don't know that. Usually the wearing surface they come in later with it, but like I said, I know the binder's down. We may get with them to see what their schedule is to make sure that we don't pave a street while they're still
And so
doing work on the sign.
when the new council comes in, and we've got the new budget in place, my understanding is you're gonna kind of start doing things a little differently about, instead of doing 10 nines, you're gonna try to do some others that you can.
Well, and it will not be on this next paving. We're hoping to put a new paving program out soon, but we won't see those changes on this next paving program.
It'll be 27.
It'll be 20 years. So in this year's budget, we have the demo. We put some money in there for the micro pave. I think I've talked in here a couple times putting the thin layer on some of these streets that haven't got bad enough to where they have to be milled all the way down, and we don't have base failures. We've got good base in there, and basically come in and put a 1/4 inch asphalt down and gives you a new smooth riding surface for about 10 years. So in this year's budget, we have money set aside to pave some roads with that. So we want to see how that goes, how that puts down, what kind of reaction we get, and that will help us have more of a pavement management system as far as helping us determine how we can stretch our dollar the furthest. And there's some other things we would like to do too. I mean, talk about the way the street department had patching some roads, looking at doing some street cuts where, because if you look at a lot of the roads we have that have the issues, that get the complaints, a lot of it's just where there's a lot of utility cuts and multiple utility cuts. And so maybe there's another, we've looked at some, we're looking at going through some options of patching those. And to be honest, if you get those patched, then you don't have to pave the entire road and you end up with a smooth ride and saves.
Kind of like we're talking on Grady Lyles Drive in north and south.
Mm-hmm.
Because, you know, they're real bad down close to Royal and then up to Cherry.
Mm-hmm.
But we decided to put that off because they're still doing work in construction.
Yes, and that is a great example of where construction traffic has tore that. If you go back and look at different Google views, street views of that, you can tell the construction traffic is what has brought a lot of that damage on, and where it's been overlaid, and overlay just didn't, it stuck well, but then once all this heavy construction traffic has been on it, it is just delaminated and came apart there, so.
Yeah, that one is in very bad shape.
Are you going to address Gresham or is that somebody else?
Well, 6A, that, yes, 6A, we will,
Well, hang on there, Brent.
Well, I didn't know.
The mayor asked a question about paving. Is
Yes.
that all you had for us about paving?
any other questions on paving there?
Oh, and I don't. Do you, Bill?
How many dollars were spent on paving this year?
3.2?
3.2 million?
3.5.
3.5.
You
3.5.
ask some residents, they'll swear we're not paving anything.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
anything
just our
done.
contract paving. We've done paving now, too.
So
Yeah.
you're looking closer to $4 million
Yeah.
worth of paving this year. And see, Mr. White made a statement today that Florence spent $0 on paving roads.
Why do you put any merit in anything?
He's
comes out of
just
man's
an idiot,
mouth?
and I just wanted to point that out to
I
you.
mean, I also think it's worth noting that it is this committee that instituted the designation to put money aside so that we weren't borrowing money for paving roads, which is a waste of interest. That this committee did that, and it was foresight here so that we could get these roads winnowed down so that we're no longer in the 9 and 10 range. And that is exactly what we have chipped away on and done. So that is this group that did
So in the
that.
last 5 years, we probably spent between 15 and 18 million dollars on paving.
I thought it was,
No,
You don't think so?
this 4 million is a
No,
high
but I'm
water
talking
mark.
about- you
it's
think
been
we're
2 million
ready?
up
Two.
until
That's
Yeah,
what
last
I
year.
it's
say
definitely,
two and a
it's
half.
usually about 2,
Two
so I
and a
would
half.
say, yeah.
It drastically went up this year.
Yeah, the 4 is a high water mark.
Yes.
It was a
But I
lot of
appreciate
paving
that.
done.
Yeah,
And I know this coming up year will be the, let's call it the 26 paving. It's a little more, I forget the exact dollar figure, but it was more than what this year's was.
So
Another
it's-
compliment.
yeah.
The street department came through Lakeside Highlands and everything on Wilson Dam Road and didn't do what I would call a normal patch. It is unbelievable. And I just appreciate that. And I'm getting calls every day about positive comments. And so did an outstanding job, kind of well along with this same project.
No,
Great job.
The street department, and I will say I'm sure David will you know, our paving dollars can go a lot further when you look at it from in-house work there.
It does.
And,
It really does. We're able to be much more efficient with that.
It is. And I don't think enough credit gets done to the crew, because the same crew that's paving is also the same crew that's putting in a driveway culvert or a ditch. So these are not, they're doing a great job, but they're not full-time pavers.
Yeah.
It's
Not
put on
good,
which hat
not
to
good stroppers either.
that. And so,
I have 10 deer that lay in my backyard at night. And before, when they'd run across the street, they had holes they could put their feet in. Now they're falling all the time because it's so smooth when they run across.
Sign of a good paving job, the deer keep walking.
Well, I think Michelle puts a good point in that. At one time, one of the councils borrowed a bunch of money. And so there were several years, there was no paving being
That's
done.
right.
So then you're gonna have all this coming due, so you got to pave every single year.
Thank you for that.
You're so welcome.
I just assumed it was always the process we have now.
No, it is not. And
For 5 years,
We
we've
have-
had this process and
Right.
maybe longer.
I learned in the first term that we had to do something because it wasn't sustainable, and we were experiencing roads like you're talking about in Lakeside and where Jimmy is in Oak Hill and different places that there was no way to get them done because we had no money. And this is the way that we were able to get them done, and it was just good hard work. And I remember driving the roads that you sent me in 2020, I'd be like, can we do it this way or whatever? And I mean, it's just that teamwork. It has to happen.
Did we say there's 340 miles of roadway?
Well,
Is it less?
When I came in, that's what I was told, that it was like 350 or something like that. And Todd, we got another number for it that was a lot lower, that was
Around
like,
250, 256, somewhere along.
and, so I don't know what they did before I got here, but, one of the first things I remember was the first paving program, and I said, well, how many miles do we have? They said, about 350 or so. And now we come to find out that, it's about 250, I guess. So,
And I was
256.
that three something
256.
number probably is maybe all the streets that are inside the city limits. I don't know if that's where that number came
I
from,
thought about
including
that. I thought if it included the, state highways and
state and county
everything,
roads.
but, and maybe it does, but, when I was thinking about it, I thought, it would have to be 100, about 100 miles of it, and
But just like from.
it's
the
hard to
bridge-
believe it's that
Like
much.
from the bridge to Cox Creek is Aldott, but we consider that the city, don't we?
Mhm.
Just,
Yeah, I'm guessing that's probably. I mean, if you look, and it may be there's 4 lanes they counted each direction. I mean, you could.
Yeah.
That's.
Well, that's good discussion, and thank you for the question, and thank you for the updates. Those are things that are very important because they affect our residents every single day when they get in the car and they go about their business. And Jimmy has a question about Gresham Road. And so before anything else happens, let's address this question. Todd, I believe you have a vision for us?
I do for Gresham.
I do for Gresham.
And they put a lake out there?
I know this is.
It's waterfront property now.
So this is what the
Waterfront property.
You didn't know we were getting that in.
You need to move back there.
So
I'm sure somebody out there
Appreciate
fuss
it.
about it.
we have received they call it the 90. The 90% approval or submittal plan. So basically, this is we've got the final design. There may be a few little tweaks here and there, but this is pretty much what is going to go out, what it's going to look like if it goes out for bid here. So one thing too that it's going to ask me to pop up a couple of things here. So we've got the plans. We are in the process of getting right-of-way acquisition. There are 4 properties there on each corner that we actually need a little bit more right-of-way to be able to encompass the roundabout and the utility relocates. So the Garber Engineering is writing up the easements and descriptions, and then probably on the next council, you will see something with a contract for us to get appraisals for those to be able to then go to the homeowners with an appraisal there for the.
Will it be
right of way.
equal in all 4 corners, you think?
And I can. Well, let's start there. We'll start with the. Where's my page now?
Isn't it just one homeowner and the rest are?
Yes, that is correct.
you got the church.
So you got the wing. There's our quantities. Okay, so.
Can you, yeah, thank you.
If you, we'll take each corner at a time here, and that'll help. See, if you look, this lightly gray line is the present right of way, and then like that's the construction limit. This line right here is the right of way that we need.
Post.
Yes, to be able to get
How
that
many
in.
feet does that represent?
Let's see here. So 55. We're looking.
I'm talking about of right of way more you need. How many more feet do you need width?
The width wise.
Estimate,
10 feet.
Okay.
I won't say 10 to 15 feet. Oh, no, I take that back. That's probably going to be, that may be a little bit. If that's 20 feet there, 10 to 20 feet along through there. Just for kind of size here, that's 20 feet there. So I'm going to say from that present right away, it's maybe somewhere in that. It's not a lot of, it's not a whole lot of right away. This little corner here is probably just because this came in at the right of way came in at this area here will be the most, but it does not really, where we're looking to acquire it, it should not affect anything that these homeowners would want to build, and most of it's still in most of the setback regions there, so it's not like they can put anything there to start with there. So that is kind of all right. So, and as you can tell, they're all about the same at each corner there, with just these corners being the most that they acquire. But the Kriegers probably have the most right away through here, and it is not a huge amount, like I said, 10, 15 feet there.
They're in the county?
Yes.
Are they been annexed in?
They're in the county right now. So
Are they part of the 9 plats? Okay. Is the church in the city or outside?
church in the city?
Okay.
And that Krieger issue, Bill, will be resolved next week at planning,
Okay.
so that we remain on track.
That was mentioned.
with the city's commitment. Yes,
In
it
our
was
last
mentioned
meeting.
Tuesday's
Okay.
meeting. Yeah.
And then these properties here are in the city as well. So that's kind of and so we can't put it out for. We got to get so the next step would be to acquire right away. Then once we acquire right away, then we will be able to have some documents then to be
Are they
able to put out for
agreeable?
bid. Sir.
Are the Kriegers agreeable?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes.
That makes everything
From the past conversations, yes, that shouldn't have some issues there.
They may sell tickets and put chairs in the front yard to watch what they do.
So, and then the next item right away, and then of course all the other questions that everybody has is what does construction look like? Like I said, we've got that was the other concern we had from the citizens out there is what is it going to look like while it's being built? And we have now the drainage. All right, so traffic control. So what traffic? They will the shaded area is where they will. There's 3 or 4 different phases of construction. This will be the first phase, and the area that you see shaded will be the areas they'll be working during each phase. So during the first phase of construction, you will have traffic really as normal. If you look here is Gresham Road, you'll have a 10-foot lane, so it will be a little bit narrower lanes.
Will that be a gradual narrowing, or will it be 10 foot all the way?
It will be 10 foot basically starting at once inside the limits of where the construction is, that's where the 10 foot lanes will be, and then it will widen out.
Okay.
But it'll be channelized drums out through here, and then all the work will be done on it, and they will traffic will be able to basically go through there as it is functioning now, just narrower lanes. Turn lane will still be open into Hunter's Ridge there. Then for the second phase, this is actually the third phase there. Right. Then now construction will move to the north side of the road, and this will be the areas that get worked on in through here. Traffic will be still in that same orientation, 10-foot lanes coming through here, and work will be done in these areas of Gresham Road, and then going up Hunter's Way. But same thing, 10-foot lanes, travel lanes back through there. Now,
So how are they getting in and out of it?
and that's what I was saying. In this phase of construction, that turning lane will not be there, and it will just be the turning lane will go away during this phase of construction, and there will just be a single lane that goes through here that also turns into there. As you can tell, these little dots are the drums, so they'll be working on this side of the right of way where that turn lane is. So at this point, there is no dedicated lane into the subdivision, but it will be they'll just have a normal turn there at the entrance. You just won't have that dedicated lane.
Oh, okay, so there's no inhibition for in and out.
No, ma'am. No. That's what I was saying. All the work, and then even as you go, and actually the Hunter's Way through here actually has 12-foot lanes. They'll actually be wider than what is on Seville on Gresham there, and the work will be done outside those two 12-foot lanes there.
Okay,
so
gotcha.
yeah. So but at that point, two-way traffic is still coming in and out of the subdivision.
Todd, let me ask Jimmy a question, and that is about the residents at Hunter's Ridge. Have you had a chance to communicate any of this with them?
We just got this yesterday.
Oh,
Yes.
So the answer to that is no. Okay.
Yes. So y'all are seeing, yes. So
Let me ask you something. Could I, because, there's two or three of them really doing most of the talking. Can I share this with them?
Yes.
At some point between now and the end of October?
Well, it's live on Facebook right now.
Well, I know, but I still want to.
Yeah, no.
I still want to be able to answer questions.
well, that's what 6 say, especially for folks living out there that's going to be doing that. Yes. No. We can set something. Yeah.
I'd like to have that sitting where they can actually look at it better than what they're seeing on his camera
Yes.
back there.
No.
Right
We
now.
we can do that for sure. So then once all this work gets built out, then you're really starting to see the shape of the roundabout here. So all the work before now is to get all the outside edges, for lack of a better word. It is to widen, and you actually start getting the shape of this. Now the fourth phase is the areas they're going to be working on are actually they're splitter islands is what they're called, but that's what's actually dividing the kind of divides the roundabout up, and that's these 4 areas here will be where they're working. So at that point we'll have temporary markings. We'll be back to 12-foot lanes, and you will have a barrier. With barrels there. That kind of is the roundabout there that traffic will be negotiating around. Now work will be done in these 4 areas or areas here. So, and then the last phase of construction will be actually when they're working inside. I don't know why this thing is not painting like I want it. So then at that point, after these 4 islands get constructed, then they'll work on the inner circle there.
So
And
that's actually the last part.
that's the last part. So
How big would the fountain be in the circle there?
that's it. Depends on how high we want the water.
I like that.
Yeah. So, but that's the phases of construction, and I know that's what the biggest questions that when we've had the few meetings is what's that going to look like, and like I said,
An expected timeline.
as far as hopefully we were supposed to receive the easements, the actual written descriptions to be able to give to the appraiser. We're supposed to get those yesterday. We haven't received those, so once we get those and get that right of way acquired, that's, hate to say, that's the $1 million question. It all depends on who owns what bank if there's any, because if we're dealing with an individual or if we're having to deal with somebody's bank as well, and to be able to get those right of
But
ways.
it's coming to the council to get that.
Yes, so you will, like I said, the next council meeting, we should see a contract for the right-of-way appraisals. And then once we get those, we will have to, if we do any kind of purchasing right-of-way there, that also has to come back to council. And then the plans, as 81 Pines do here, they are, for all intents and purposes, done. The plans are, so there may be a little bit of cleanup work here and there, but acquiring the right of way, could take a month, 2 months. That is, but
It's a variable process for sure.
yes, and then but at that point we should be ready to put plans out for bid there.
The curbing. The circle we have in East Florence doesn't have that curbing. If we move forward with more, is that something that will become a part of most?
No, you're talking the center here.
No.
The
You're talking
There's
about
four.
little islands,
The
little
islands.
islands out there.
yes.
Is that something will become a part of roundabouts in the future?
And these little splitter islands through here, and they're not as distinct. They're the ones out at East Florence. I do believe. Does one approach have the concrete splitter islands, or are they all on paint? They're on paint. They're painted. And like I said, that is what kind of delineates the traffic through there. That you should see. Depending on space,
for it.
it is. It all depends on approach distance and how much space you have for those.
In East
So-
Florence, people were accustomed to driving slower because they approach this. On Gresham Road, they're accustomed to driving 60. So that's going to help keep people in their own lanes.
It does.
Quite literally.
Yes.
So, and a lot of it does too have to how you put these, where you put brakes, down to in East Florence there with the sidewalk issues, with more traffic there's not as much pedestrian traffic here as there is in East Florence. So these splitter islands also change depending on pedestrian traffic, because you also have to have like in East Florence there, we'll have to have
There is one
a safer way for
coming from Huntsville
Road. That's yes.
Yes.
There is a.
So speaking of this though, I know that planning, it's a different department with that one at Court Street, but is theirs engineered like this as well, or are they using what's already there? Because you have what you would consider a splitter island
Yes.
there at Irvine and Court, so I just didn't know if the curbing would also be a part of that.
I don't know the details of those
Oh, okay.
of those plans
Okay.
as much there, but I would assume it would all be kind of redone and brought to. I think it'd be tough to put in that and leave what's existing there.
Okay, so just to standardize it is what you're saying?
Yes.
Okay, all right, well, that's what I was like, it would be interesting in Florence to have basically three different, completely different styles of roundabout, but
Yes.
you would
Yeah,
hope that they
that's-
could all become standardized in some way so that we would be able to avoid some of these additional questions and or costs.
Right.
So, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Jimmy, do I have it right that for the purpose of the notes, that you are gonna visit with residents about these plans along with engineering?
Yeah, I'll set up a meeting with them.
Okay.
And try to get, I'll try to get on that maybe next week.
Okay.
All right, I thought I've acknowledged that, but I wanted to make sure that I had those details correct. Were there any other questions for Todd? Or Todd, did you have anything else about this you wanted to share with us?
Those were the big things, was, you know, kind of where we are with, acquiring right of way and letting know we finally do have the traffic control plan.
Great.
Right.
Okay. Bill, did you have any other questions?
No.
Okay, all right. Perfect.
I was just thinking how Waterloo could benefit from a roundabout where you come up to the four-way stop there, next to the new lodge. But we won't go that far.
Run for county commissioner. Okay. All right. Is there anything else that we need to discuss today? We are right almost at the hour. Good?
I think we are.
We good?
Yeah, the only thing was, well, Todd addressed it
Okay.
with that other thing.
So Todd, and I say this to all of engineering, as you get to where we're going with the bridge in particular, because that's gonna be the first of that very deep level of work going on over there, please just keep the council updated so they can inform residents, especially with temporary closures and things like that.
We want, because the second is when they're awarded 20.
The 30th.
30th.
It last day, September 30th, we open plans, so you should see a contract shortly after.
Yeah, it will probably take place after my
Okay.
tenure is over, so just so the people will know and whomever is in place, that would be great. All right. Thank you all so much. We will be adjourned at 12:55.
Thank you.
Thank you.